Hey, Lana Decor family, welcome back. If winter had a heartbeat, it would sound like candlelight and evergreen. Today we're exploring timeless winter decor 2025, where farmhouse warmth meets enduring style. From layered mantels to cedar kiss tables, I'll show you how to craft cozy scenes that outlast trends. Grab a warm drink, settle in, and let's begin this season's most soothing makeover together. A farmhouse mantel becomes a quiet winter stage. Cedar drapes softly over a reclaimed beam, taper candles flicker against time-worn mirrors, and brass glows like afternoon sun on snow. The palette stays natural and calm, inviting slow breaths and generous moments of stillness. Each detail whispers history and comfort. Pine cones and aged books ground the scene, while mirrored reflections deepen space and light. Nothing shouts, everything glows. The look endures beyond trends, evergreen, elemental, and beautifully restrained, like a favorite winter hymn played softly by the fire. Ironstone and stoneware gather like old friends, their creamy glazes cradling fresh fir clippings. On a reclaimed console, textures mingle linen, wood, evergreen, creating that timeless farmhouse hush. A few pine cones scatter memory and scent, while daylight brushes edges, making the moment feel unhurried and meaningful. This vignette favors patina over polish. The picture's curves echo past winters, lending warmth to simple greenery. The arrangement asks little yet offers much: quiet beauty, gentle fragrance, and a sense that home is layered slowly, one thoughtful object, one small branch, one honest material at a time. Juniper and pine trace the staircase like a woodland path, velvet ribbons nodding softly with every step. Brass bells lend a delicate chime, reminding you to move through the season with grace. White shiplap brightens the scene, letting greens and textures lead the winter narrative. Under evening lamps, the garland deepens to forest tones. It frames daily rituals, coats shrugged on, letters carried up, with gentle ceremony. The look is nostalgic yet fresh, a farmhouse embrace that guides family upward, rooms aglow, while the fragrance of resin threads quietly through the hall. A generous wicker basket greets each arrival with pine cones, a folded wool throw, and a potted mini spruce. Slate underfoot, mat hooks above, everything feels considered yet easy. The entry whispers, "You're home," in cedar and texture, setting a peaceful winter tone from the threshold. This welcome favors touchable materials, woven reeds, soft wool, rough bark. Light pulls gently on the bench, catching the spruce's new growth. It's a promise of warmth beyond the door, boots drying, kettle humming, and the reliable comfort of farmhouse style dressed in evergreen simplicity. On a round wooden tray, an ironstone bowl brims with pine cones beside a petite evergreen. Knit throws gather nearby, and the hearth whispers with warmth. The composition feels effortless, balanced shapes, natural textures, an invitation to set down your mug and simply rest a while. As candles glow, shadows soften edges into calm. The tray becomes a winter island for conversation and quiet. Nothing is precious. Everything is welcoming. Evergreen, ironstone, wool, wood, materials that thrive in company, carrying the room through long nights with understated, enduring grace. Cedar bundles tied to chair backs turn the dining room into a winter meadow. Linen ribbons fall in relaxed tails, repeating the table's natural palette. Guests lean in, catching hints of resin, feeling the table's intention, gather, linger, celebrate without haste. The greens frame each place setting like a small wreath of welcome. Between laughs and stories, the room breathes evergreen. The effect is seasonal yet timeless, a farmhouse gesture that needs no ornament to speak, warm company, simple materials, and beauty that endures meal after meal. Along the kitchen peg rail, board and copper, linen and cedar gather in an honest display of work and beauty. The greens feel freshly clipped, the tools feel well loved. Together they compose a living still life that changes with meals, seasons, and memory. This is farmhouse at its heart, practical, tactile, graceful in use. Greens twine between ladles and cutting boards, lending fragrance to the day's tasks. Nothing is staged, everything is ready. Winter settles in, and the kitchen answers with warmth and purpose. Whiteware stacks rise like snowdrifts, their edges catching light. Between them, sprigs of cedar and eucalyptus slip in, adding life and scent. Board behind keeps the mood airy, letting the arrangement breathe, clean lines, soft shadows, and a whisper of winter woodland. The shelves read as calm and generous. Plates wait for family meals. Grains remind you of the season's hush. Edit as needed, never striving for perfection. The beauty here is rhythm, repeat shapes, repeat tones, repeat textures, until the ice settles and the room exhales. Black metal lanterns stand sentry on the porch, pillars glowing within. Fresh fir tucks at their bases like snow brush skirts. A vintage sled leans nearby, and twilight turns the whole scene into an invitation to pause, breathe, and step into warmth. As evening falls, the lantern light deepens, guiding footsteps and spirits. The arrangement honors winter's edge, crisp air, quiet streets, stars beginning. It's timeless farmhouse poetry, iron, glass, evergreen, and flame, greeting every visitor with humble ceremony and steady glow. A cedar ring crowns the farmhouse chandelier, bells dropping like soft notes between branches. The fixture's muted brass warms the greenery, casting a gentle gleam across the table. The room feels held, gathered under a canopy of winter that's elegant without effort. When night arrives, the chandelier becomes a forest of light. Greens shadow the ceiling, turning supper into something a little magical. Trends fade, this remains a simple, living adornment that frames conversation and keeps the season close without overwhelming the room. On the console, weathered books stack beneath brass candlesticks. A trailing cedar garland drifts like a quiet river, mirroring its reflection in a patinaed mirror. The composition reads collected and sincere, a small museum of winter comfort and stories. Lamplight pulls warmth from paper and metal, while greenery cools the palate just enough. It's balanced without being fussy, historical without being heavy. The vignette invites touch. Turn a page, light a wick, straighten a sprig, and in doing so, brings the season to life. A wooden ladder leans casually, layered with wool plaids. A small evergreen swag nods at the side, and a woven basket waits below. The corner becomes a retreat, textures, pattern, and a promise of warmth on a long winter evening. This nook asks for books and quiet music. Plaid feels classic, the ladder humble, the greens fresh. Together they suggest habit, grabbing a blanket, settling in, watching the room soften. Winter gathers here, not dramatic, just deeply inviting and reassuringly familiar. Winter botanicals rest in vintage frames along a ledge, their muted tones echoing snowy fields. A thin evergreen garland threads across the arrangement, tying eras together, old paper, new needles, and the soft wear of time. The wall feels thoughtful, museum quiet, and calm. The chipped frames bring soul, the botanicals bring wonder. You need only dust occasionally and adjust the garland's drape. It's storytelling decor, seasonal yet enduring, offering a slow, contemplative beauty that rewards a second look and a deeper breath. Three simple fir wreaths line the mudroom wall like punctuation marks of green. Matte ribbons fall straight, boot trays wait patiently, woven baskets corral winter gear. The scene feels orderly and kind, ready for daily comings and goings without fuss. This is practical beauty, the farmhouse way. Greens stay fresh in cool air, baskets keep rhythm, and bee-board brightens every errand. The wreaths say, "Welcome back," even when you're only fetching the mail, proving small touches can shape the whole season's mood. Clear jars hold pine cones and cedar, turning essentials into winter artifacts. A small wooden stool anchors a tiny potted conifer beside white tile and steam-softened light. The bathroom becomes a spa of simplicity where nature and order meet. It's ceremony without excess. Decant, arrange, breathe. The jars refract light. The greens scent the air. You don't need much, just honest materials and thoughtful placement. The result is calm that lingers long after the mirror clears and the day resumes. Neatly stacked logs create pattern and promise beside the hearth. A woven basket holds fresh greens, and a matte black match striker waits like a punctuation mark. The corner glows with ember light, inviting stories and unhurried evenings. This nook speaks of readiness and ritual. Bring in wood, brush off snow, light the fire, and let conversation bloom. The materials are rugged but refined: stone, bark, iron, evergreen, forming a timeless farmhouse tableau that makes winter feel both elemental and kind. A shallow stoneware bowl gathers dried orange slices, cloves, and sprigs of pine. Scent rises like memory, bright citrus, warm spice, cool resin, turning the table into a sensory welcome. Linen beneath softens edges, grounding the ritual of everyday meals. The mix is humble and generous, nostalgic and fresh. Replace slices as needed, add a few pine cones, stir the arrangement with your hands. It's a centerpiece that invites participation, evolving gently through the season while keeping the room fragrant, warm, and beautifully alive. A minimal garland arcs over the headboard, framing crisp white linens and a single plaid pillow. Morning arrives softly through flax curtains, and the room exudes quiet resolve, rest as refuge, decor as a lullaby of texture and restraint. Night deepens the greens to velvet, moonlight turning needles silver. The palette remains pale and patient, encouraging unhurried sleep and slow awakenings. It's timeless winter comfort, uncluttered, evergreen, and wholly devoted to the restful rhythm of home. We layered cedar, leaned into ironstone and brass, and let soft candlelight turn everyday corners into winter poetry. Evergreen textures, natural materials, and calm palettes carried the farmhouse story throughout the home. If these ideas sparked your imagination, please like this video, subscribe to Lana Decor, and drop a comment with your favorite moment. Your support keeps this cozy community glowing all season long.